a lot.
When the Sabbath command was first given, there were no such thing as weekends.
Right.
And so, you know, we are so used to having a weekend in our culture that we think that's
That's
normal, even though we fill it up with a lot of craziness and stuff. But and I think a lot of people, you know, some of the people I've talked to have read the book, and they said, I didn't realize I was doing Sabbath, but then I read the book and I realized that some of the things that I was doing were that way. Like, I don't remember my parents ever calling Sunday Sabbath.
Right.
But a lot of times it was, we didn't have other activities really. We would, you know, go to church, sometimes we'd go out to brunch or to, you know, lunch, and then we come home and watch Wide World of Sports. But it was
That's right.
it was just kind of hanging out together at the house. It was because there wasn't a lot of other activities. I think that's one of the hardest things in our culture, is there is so much available that sounds so good. I mean, you know, my friend Jo, who has 5 kids and they're all in more than one sport, her weekend, she's like, oh, I've got 9 games this weekend. I'm like, ouch, ouch, that hurts my head just to think about it, you know? But that's how she does her life, and it's part of the way your Sunday looks will be determined by how the rest of your week looks, you know? And that's, I think, one of the points I was trying to get across in the book, that you can't just only think about Sunday. It has to be a lifestyle, that you think about what you're saying yes to throughout the week, throughout your life, to keep your pace.
And do you suggest announcing it kind of to your family? I mean, do you, I read where you say, you know, discuss this, but I mean, are you kind of saying, Sunday doesn't work for us, so Saturday's going to be our Sabbath, and kind of announcing it to the family? So
I told the kids that. I think it's an interesting thing. A lot of people ask me, well, how do I get my husband on board with this? And I'm like, if you figure it out, let me know, because my husband's a realtor, and so I didn't name it for him because I didn't want him to feel guilty, but I just decided the only person that I have control over really is me. But I did tell the kids, I'm not going to run errands for you. I'm not going to run, if you need poster board for the project that's due Monday, sorry, you're going to have to tell me Friday, because I'm not going to run out for you. But mostly I tried to create a space where it was restful. And the kids often would have friends over, and I was okay with that. But you know, I really worked at trying to make work. Sounds so funny, but I chose things that would make the house a restful place on Sundays. But I didn't try to legislate it, you know. And so a lot of times I found that my kids' friends would want to come to our house, and they would even say, "It's really peaceful here." I'm like, wait, do you do this all the time?
don't you see kids thrive on it almost? I mean, I hear your 9 games, 3 boys in travel sports. It's insane. 9 is sometimes the minimum. But yeah, but I see where they like to just chill.
They like to have the day.
Can we just play cards? Can we just,
And we play board games. I think people think it's funny that my 12 and 14-year-old want to play Scrabble with me, you know. Or
bingo's still a big one. I don't know why, but
or dominoes or whatever. But we've always made that something that's, they don't have to, you know, but they also know Sundays for me, I work from home. So a lot of times they'll be like, Mom, I'm on deadline, I'm busy, let me finish this. On Sundays, one of the things I do is not turn on the computer. And so, now sometimes they do their homework on Sunday, that's fine, but they...
If you're bid on eBay, make sure all your stuff ends on Monday, not on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's good.
But they know that if they say Mom, I'll say, yeah, can I help you? And that's a huge thing to give your kids. Even if you don't say, this is Sabbath, you have to do this. But they will notice that you're not going to, hang on just a minute, I'm busy.
Yes.
Well, you're available.
The one thing that I've decided to commit to do is to look to spend times of rest with my husband when I'm in a busy performing season, like now. And it might be asking him to get off work early and take a little time with him before I go on to a concert. But I know it's important to take that time with him. And it's a fun thing to do. Sabbath is relational. I hadn't really thought about it. One sister and I decided to take on with my mom is to try to structure a day as close to once a week as possible where we take her out of her nursing home. She's Alzheimer's and she's mid-stages, and she's the only one who actually comes out of her unit on a regular basis. And they think we're positively odd to do this, but my sister and I've learned how to lift my mom, and I lift weights and think about that so I can help her in my car. So it's very fun. We take her out about once a week, different places. It could be a pet shop, a shopping center, just different places. And she may look a little odd right now with her stage of Alzheimer's, but we just don't mind that, and we take her out and we just have a great day talking with her on her level, and just to see her being in the way she does not being when she's inside her nursing home is a wonderful place as it is, and they do their best. But when we take her out, there is something so special. So I feel like my sister and I have been able to continue on something that my mom started.
That's wonderful.
That's awesome.
I think sometimes Sabbath might mean that you change your routine, because maybe your routine isn't as restful as you think it is. Like, I would probably be more likely to sit by the fire, but my husband very much likes to get out. So that's what I really have done lately in the last, especially this last summer, is just get out with him and ride a bike, or get out with him and do a huge walk. And you know, honestly, it's really a big renewal thing, because it's not what I normally do. And so, especially being a writer and being a creative person, getting outside and seeing that there's like a world beyond your computer screen, beyond your four walls, beyond my little office, has been really good. So I think that idea that sometimes it's just like doing something different. If you normally relax in this way, try relaxing in a different way.
Yeah, I found myself again, when I had younger kids, doing laundry like every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
I just, as soon as the basket was getting anything in it, I just felt like I needed to do laundry. And one day my mom said to me, "You could like skip a day," and I was like, "Huh, didn't think of that." Obviously, we had enough clothes to last if I didn't wash for quite a while. So now I try to make it a concerted effort on Saturday. If it's bugging me, there's just I just do what I can and finish it, so that Sunday I don't touch that stuff at all. And I'm surprised what when I go from my bedroom downstairs, I kind of go through our laundry area, and as I go through, there's like a relief. Today, I don't have to deal with that today, and it's just a tough thing, but it really matters and just takes pressure off of that cycle of finishing, going, doing. It's just a small part of my day, but it bugs me. And I love when you say here on page 127, every time you say yes, you're saying no. And I think that is a really good way to look at saying yes or no to things. And I noticed I was really angry with my kids a lot and so frustrated with them, and I just thought they were so really bogging me down.
Easy to get there.
Slow to
Your mojo was
yeah, exactly.
gone.
Slow to get everywhere, and I just found myself increasingly angry with them until I took a day one time and really did some reflection and realized what I was angry about was that I had overscheduled us, and I was expecting small children to keep up with the pace that I had set for them. And we were continually late or running behind, or I was stressed, or they were dirty again, or something that was just making me tense all the time and making me an icky person to be with. And I was lashing out at them, but it was about me and about our schedule, which was in my control. And so I've really tried that as well. And you talked about a friend in here who says to any request, let me get back to you. And I really try to do that. I really try to push back, because my instinct would be, oh, that would be fun, or sure, let's do that. And I don't carry a Palm Pilot or a BlackBerry or anything. I don't. My calendar's at home in a desk, and I actually have to go home and check it. And that's been a good thing for me to go, you know what, I can't even check that right now. And that gives me a little bit of space to just.
We're so immediate, we're always available.
Exactly.
Nice.
I can say, email that to me or let me know, and then I will get back to you. And it puts that buffer in there of me really thinking, is this the best thing for me and my family, or is this going to make me mean and angry again? Trying to not be the mean and angry mom.
Well, it's cool that you looked at, because a lot of times when things aren't working, we want to change the people around us, and we want to make them behave differently. And while every person in an interaction is a factor, part of that is us too. And what can we do to change what's going on, in our family? in our relationships, so.
And wives, mothers, you're the nucleus of the family, really. If you ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. I mean, it's really important, integral part.
I think the two most important words you brought up were the sacramental ordinary.
Yeah, those,
Lucy is having a little tea with
Yep.
Mr. Tumnus, and it's such an ordinary thing that is so extraordinary.
Yes. And do you experience that? Can you think of a time when you experienced what I talked about, sacramental ordinary? It's just, and that's from Deborah Brown, a scholar on Lewis, but I just thought, that to me is what Sabbath is really about. It's not a big production, but it's sacramental ordinary. That's true.
yeah, like taking a walk with my husband. He likes to do the treadmill, and I love being outdoors. And lately, he's been just really good. He's like, let's go for a walk. And he holds my hand.